You are live.
Are we live?
Live.
You are live. Why am I in the middle? I don't want to be in the middle.
You get to be in the middle.
I don't
I'll tell you,
wanna be.
stay in the middle for a minute
I
because
don't
I think
wanna
you're going to
be.
be with a rapid fire. That is Ben's wife. Ben's wife is here. I thought
Hi.
she was going to be here for all of the podcasts. I really did.
I
I just had this, it was such a good vibe having you in, but like real life and work, unfortunately, got in the way of you being here.
Unfortunately,
which
but that means I need
stinks.
to be here more for season 2.
I think so too.
So
I think
that-
that's a must. I think that is a must. So so if you ever wanted to ask Carson something about Ben, this
Yeah.
is your chance.
I'm an open book.
Is to ask
Hang on.
any questions about Ben, who revealed he has had 4 kisses before Carson, 4 different girls.
I feel like it was more than that. I feel like I undersold it.
You think it was more?
I had a few kissers. Nothing much more than that. Not a whole lot more than that, though.
Top of the morning to you.
Maybe more kisses, but not much more than that.
What is that accent?
I don't know.
It's kind of Irish
Well, I'm from also the north
and kind of Norwegian.
and kind of in the east. Maybe the west and the north.
East.
So this is the finale, guys. This is the last one. This is the thing before we go on hiatus for maybe ever.
Shut
the
up.
last-
Your mouth.
Last time. You want to get rolling with the back half? Nobody. Oh, hey Steven, how you doing there,
Steven,
buddy?
first in for
yeah,
part T.
yeah, and we'll get rolling with the actual podcast. But I did want to see if any of you had any questions about Carson, about Ben.
Well, you put it in too fast. You got
What do
to
you
now that there are people who are tuning in. You as soon as you turned on the Facebook Live or the live, you said it. So
Yeah,
the
there were
questions will
people.
come
There
in
were- okay.
afterwards. So now re-ask the question.
Okay.
No, go ahead.
If you have any,
Nope.
yes.
Nope, never mind.
First question up for Carson and Ben, the beautiful married couple, about to celebrate their 1-year anniversary
Holy shit.
as a married couple. I know, right?
1 year.
Crazy.
It-
We just
it's
got
crazy.
married yesterday.
It feels like that. I can't believe how fast that year is gone. When are kids coming?
You want to take this one?
Sure. Kids are not on our radar right now.
Right now, I think
Right
we're
now,
just gonna ask us again in 5 to 12 to 15 years.
Yeah.
Ask us. Ask us. In a
Fair enough.
decade.
I think that's a good time. We'll just get back with the friend. Yes. Now, previously we've had a dinner break here, and then we come back really drunk because we've had a long stretch. But this time we sped it up, so we're back with you, and I think we're more lucid. I think. But Ben did have between 7 and 10 alcohol beverages before even getting here, so we're not entirely sure.
Define a drink. Define what constitutes a drink.
I think most people know what a drink is.
Yeah, I had a couple.
A drink. A special treat for the back half is we have Ben's wife here.
Carson!
And there was something really specific you wanted to get into with Carson, and then I also have something specific. If you can't, you don't remember.
With me and Carson? I think Carson had something.
Oh,
that she
Carson
wanted
did.
to
Okay,
say
Carson. Yes,
about-
you
about
first,
the-
you
the
first.
I had a
kids.
story. We were talking about kids running around the restaurant and at breweries. So I was at the beach recently, good old Dirty Myrtle, and I went to this grungy little karaoke bar. I love dirty, grungy bars.
Who
I
doesn't?
mean, they have a place. in
The dive
heart,
bar is underrated.
cheap drinks, great people. I was really excited to go. We get there, and it is full of children, and I mean like 10 and under children in this bar
On the mic.
on the mic
At late
singing
night.
Frozen,
Late night.
singing "Let It Go," 10 p.m. I'm trying to catch a buzz, maybe seeing a little bit of Shania Twain, and they're killing it. I was
That's
like,
no
I
good.
want out of here. Also, how is that illegal? How's that legal?
Hey, Myrtle Beach is, how like DC is its own country,
That's
Vatican
right.
City is its own country. Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, also not part
It's
of
a
America.
lawless land.
Lawless.
is
You
its
have
own-
you have people barefoot, and I'm not joking, barefoot in
I know.
their swimsuits, 10 p.m.
Uh-huh.
carrying buckets, literal buckets of liquor and drinking. And then 10-year-olds singing up, let it go.
No good.
And then,
No good,
and
man.
then I saw, bless his heart, this like janitor that was working at the bar, no arms, but taking the trash out in the middle of them singing Let It Go and buckets. And I'm just sitting there. I'm like, I think I'm on like some kind of fake TV
How
show.
did he hold the trash?
He had like teeny
what I
tiny little nubs.
Oh,
And so he
with
was
the
like,
nubs, he was able to
Yes.
get the trash nub. That is our inspirational.
Yes.
Forget about me doing
Think
witch
about
work.
him.
Forget about
Your takeaway to next week is to think about the guy in Myrtle Beach that was, janitor or, that was working, taking out the trash or whatever. What was the name of the place? Do you remember?
Oh,
Was it Oscars?
no.
Danny loves Myrtle Beach. He is a Myrtle Beach fanatic.
Big fan. Sorry, I put my drink down very hard. Sorry. It's like
Myrtle Beach.
But the fact that he was taking out the trash using his nubs.
It was pretty talented.
That is
Not gonna lie.
amazing.
Highlight
That
of
is
the
absolutely,
list.
that's your inspiration. If you're feeling down this week, friend, if you are having a hard time getting through your job, stop laughing. This is my inspirational moment.
Man, I'm not
this is my witch work this week.
Okay.
My witch work this week, my affirmation for you is when you are struggling with whatever, you are not using nubs to take out trash in a bar. Right?
Full of children.
And I bet you, yeah, and with the voices of children penetrating your eardrums. You are an American hero there, guy that was taking out the trash. That's amazing.
Props for you.
I would imagine, though, if you actually had a conversation with him, he'd be a pretty positive person.
Oh, absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely. I
the
regret.
most negative people are the people that actually have like a lot of stuff. Why are you laughing at everything? We're having a really good conversation. right here.
I'm just here.
What are you laughing at? You have to be honest.
It's just.
Are you laughing at the visual of the guy?
I'm
That's
just.
rude, Ben.
So rude.
I'm just imagining, like how he does everything all the time.
That-
And I'm not laughing. I'm just doing.
Well,
that.
yeah, those are fair. Quite a curiosity,
Yes.
but yeah, you are laughing. That's the problem.
Don't
Is
laugh.
that you're not just being curious. You're actually laughing. But we'll move on. It's actually a really good time to move on because
Yeah.
It's so good that Carson is here because I totally want to confront Ben. That was a noise that came out of me. That was a
you?
weird burp.
That was you?
That was a weird burp. Yeah.
This is if you missed it. If you missed it and you don't want to go back, this is what it sounded like.
It was
a
this
frog.
odd little burp. Yeah, it was an odd little tiny burp and it was very loud.
But like in the middle of your sentence, you went.
It was-
You're not laughing.
It was a little burp that snuck out of my. It felt like it was out of my sternum, like this area, mid chest.
I dare you to repeat that
I
noise.
would not be able to. It was a freak occurrence. It was pretty great though. All right, so I really need to clarify this with Carson because Ben has said things about you to me, and I believe they're unfair.
Okay. Unfair.
I have been told by Ben. Now, this is when we're trying to like meet up at your house, right? Like I'm coming over. I need to bring something for Ben. Usually it's something he forgot to take from my house that he needs. And I'm nice enough to go to your house to bring it to you. He goes into this full on, Carson just, hates when people just stop by. So I don't know if it's a good idea. And I need to go check in with Carson and blah, blah, blah. 100% of the times that I have checked in with Carson about going to your house, she is the most gracious
God.
human being to me. And so like, yeah, come on over. So what is the deal here?
Here's the thing.
Tell me the
What
thing.
the
'Cause I
hell
really,
is about to
I need to
happen?
know the thing because I think I'm sure nobody loves just having unannounced guests.
Yeah.
But I think he's the thing. I think you're less the thing.
So, of course, I don't want unannounced guests showing up in my house. Like, I do get like anxiety about it. It's a whole thing. But if you're coming by
Thank
just
you.
to drop something off,
Thank you.
that is nothing.
Why is it
'Cause it's
such a
you.
big? He makes it.
I
into
did not know he was doing
He
this,
makes
by
it
the way.
into a huge thing every time I need to do this. You know that you do.
Well, because I'm trying to take up. Listen, I'm trying to look out because I'm trying to look out for my wife's best interest. Okay, and so my wife's best interest is sometimes don't let people over because sometimes it stresses her out.
It's mid-afternoon on like a Wednesday. just dropping off a box.
Well,
what's the big deal?
Well, what is
people
your-
used to walk next door to knock on the door to borrow a cup of sugar.
Yeah, forget about
Let's
that.
bring back those times.
Nope.
In his defense, I do understand why he does it, but I think it's a different circumstance that would not bother me in any way. I did not know he was.
But
doing it.
when he's there too, sometimes
he
will blame you.
I
yeah,
don't
it's
care
not-
about
that
that
is
You are
absolutely
a son of a bitch.
100% true. That if I'm, hey, I need to pop over and blah 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 blah. Well, I don't know, Carson.
You're making me your
Yes,
scapegoat.
yes,
Wait a minute.
It is
Okay.
absolutely 100. Okay, I'm glad we're having this conversation
yeah,
because
yeah,
it
this is all gonna come out.
my intuition is right on with this. That it is more you.
This feels like a trap. This feels like you guys have cornered me put me into a corner. You put me into a box right now, and I feel like what I was doing was for everyone's best interest. Because you don't come over, and then she's like, no, I don't come over, and then you say, and then you come over, and then what?
It's not like he's trying to pop in and hang out.
No.
all
Who
night
knows
long.
what he wants to do?
No, there is a purpose to it every time, and he makes it weird. He makes it weird every time. And when I saw, actually, the fact when you texted me back this week, and you sounded very cheerful in it, I'm like, I think he's being unfair.
That's a bullshit answer.
It's very.
That's a bullshit statement.
I think we've clarified that.
very,
I'm
very.
really good about that. Yeah. That's
Anything
good.
else you want to
Okay.
get out?
All right, I'll put it on me. And since we're kind of like on the topic of friendship and navigating that world, and you guys have mentioned it, it is true that I'm moving. I'm leaving where I am right now in Raleigh, and I have a job, like an actual radio job that I can't talk about right now. And so I will be moving in a couple of weeks. And we've talked about this where it's like you realize who your friends are when you get fired. Like you realize who's there for you and who's not there for you.
Yeah.
And I realize that most of my friends in Raleigh, for them, I am what I would describe a weekday lunch friend. I used to be the weekend guy. Like you come to my house, you'd hang out, we'd make plans, we'd do things on the weekend. But it has become very clear to me that that I when I'm like trying to like make contact with my other friends where they're like, hey, what's going on this weekend? What are you doing next week, like Tuesday? I'm like, all right, that's a downgrade. Do you not agree?
Yeah,
Do you-
I
that's
agree
a
with
total
that.
improvement. Yes.
Yeah. Who
Yeah.
has time to hang out on a Tuesday?
Well, I think it just means that, at least this is to me, and maybe I'm being neurotic about it, but I'm looking at it as, I got more important fun things to do than hang out with you on the weekend. But like a midday on a Tuesday, you're perfect. That's
Me
the way
and
I
you
feel.
Hitting the Ruby Tuesday salad bar, but as long as
sounds
it's
like a good
between
time.
3 and 5, I gotta go.
So I think it's time I move.
Well, I mean, obviously, we've talked about this off of this, and we will not be your Ruby Tuesday
Never.
salad bar.
I know.
We will be where you are going. We can't say. Can't say?
No, you can't
No,
say.
we can't say.
No, you can't say.
We can't say. We will go to where you are
Yeah.
on Saturday.
We were already, we're making plans for Thanksgiving already this
Yeah,
year.
that's true.
I love that in the 5 minutes we took a break between segments of the
That's true.
podcast. We're like, what about Thanksgiving? I'm like, well,
It is
I'm
very
still,
important.
I'm going to make it. Like, that's my thing.
You are our Thanksgiving person.
Yeah.
We obviously have families, but we prefer to hang out with you
Now,
on Thanksgiving. We
It
love our
is
families.
going to, it's going to read as very hurtful if you travel like on a plane to get away from your families and come to my
Well,
place. on
we're
Thanksgiving.
going to be in that area this is directly to our families right now. We're going to be in that area obviously during Thanksgiving time.
Yeah,
so of course we
it's definitely going to be harder to explain that to your
That's true.
families
Yeah.
if you travel to choose me for Thanksgiving. But I'm excited.
that was happening though. It's
We
happening.
can consider it like divorced parents. We have them for Christmas. We get you for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I think that.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
and the
that's
dog
fair.
agrees.
And
Nelson just
Nelson's
barked.
out there. He knows.
Perfect. Also, on the whole, what's going on in the world is Threads, the new
I love
Twitter.
Threads.
You love Threads.
I love
It's
Threads.
Twitter. What are you talking about? It's the exact same as Twitter.
No. It is the less hateful version of Twitter.
For now.
For now.
Could, how do
hope
we
it doesn't.
keep?
2 days ago.
Because Twitter is, I get stressed out by Twitter because of the collection of angry
Yeah.
stuff.
I stopped being on Twitter
Sorry, I don't know what that
years
is.
ago. Hello.
It's a thread.
Is that what it
Thread just popped in.
Oh, that's Wendy. Wendy just sent us a Facebook Messenger saying congratulations on the new job. Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah. And then another friend of mine from the past is like, hey, I'm moving to Raleigh in a couple months. Can we connect? I'm like,
just
that's
miss me.
sad. That's sad.
Womp womp.
Okay. So back to what were we talking about?
Threads.
Threads, which is, yes. And I think it's fun, but here's my concern.
Okay.
Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah.
He is a creepy mofo.
Well, he's
is
certain.
Elon
I don't
Musk.
know who he is as a person. I know that he embodies creepiness in terms of like how he looks and how he like presents
now
himself.
He has.
in
You
public.
realize he has been training for MMA, like martial arts, and he's all
yeah.
jacked now.
Yeah, he could beat. Are we?
Did I do something? I did. That's my fault. That's my fault. Sorry.
there's an
Sorry.
echo.
I got so excited to read your messages, guys, that I created that. So sorry.
Is there going to be an MMA fight between the Zuck and the Musk?
That's
that what we're
supposed to
looking
be
at?
a thing. That's supposed to be a thing. But I think more important to think about is the fact that we have given so much control of our lives to Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
Yeah, you're right.
Did either of you watch the social, whatever it's called?
The Social Network?
No, not the social. Well, that's
A
one.
great
But
movie.
there's a documentary like the social something.
Oh, I know
the
what you're talking about.
social problem.
Experiment.
The social
Something.
dilemma. It's the
That's
social
it.
dilemma.
Yeah, you got it.
And it shows you just how awful social media is, because there are a lot of good things about social media, but the bad thing is that they want to keep you engaged so they can sell advertising.
Yeah.
And they know if they turn up the hate, if they turn up the upsetting things, if they turn up the anger, they keep your eyeballs on it.
True.
Right? And this was Facebook first. It was mostly Zuckerberg that was the guilty guy.
Yeah.
And now he's got the keys to our entire social network.
He's
life.
got it all. He's got it all.
And I don't love that. I don't think
Facebook,
that's
Instagram, and now the new Twitter.
It used to be a whole thing about like you can't have a monopoly because they'll do bad things. They'll abuse that power. This is the definition of monopoly. Like most of our social and media space is now Mark Zuckerberg.
He's got it.
Specifically, that's not okay.
He owns us.
We got to keep him out of what Russia.
He already
We
has.
can't. He has.
Well,
us.
I'm just
He's
saying,
in
like
it.
I don't want him to like get friendly with Russia
I'm
or
sure he already
the other
is.
bad guys, and then what? I don't know. Are we
I
conspiracy?
totally agree with
Put on
you.
your tinfoil hat. And relax.
But yeah, I was like part of it too, and I was super excited about Threads. I'm like, oh, this is Twitter, and it's fun again.
Yes.
and I'm so excited about it. And then I was like, but
But we can't go
I-
down that yet, right?
I really hope, because I think everyone's kind of on the same page that Twitter was just becoming just a bunch of bullies and just
Yes, yes.
hatefulness. I mean, that's why I left years ago. So
your husband just checked his watch. That
I
is
got
Oh,
a thread.
excuse
What do you
me.
want?
that is such
Excuse me.
that is such a disrespectful thing. Again, it's like you're making a
First,
really great point,
Yeah.
and he can't let
can't
somebody
say
else.
Why do you
it.
notice
He's like,
everything?
Excuse me,
the
when's it going to be about
spotlight.
me again?
Oh my God!
That's
The
something
fact,
you said.
the
I
fact
had
that
a
you have
wine
an
tasting today.
open microphone and you start to make a really great point.
I don't even remember what my point is now. Thank you very much.
You were
This
talking about Threads, and then immediately your husband checked his watch to see how much longer.
But I think everyone's on the same page of wanting it to be this
Mm.
happy, just no thought, just whatever, all positivity. Of course, it can't always be that way, but I'm hoping that the collective that's a part of it will keep it nice and
I mean,
nice.
I hope everybody's concerned and they're watching
'Cause-
so that doesn't happen. What are your honest thoughts on being a number? Like
That's
with
so weird.
Is that a thing?
when you sign up for Threads, because
not
it's a
see
part
it?
of your Instagram,
to look.
they assign you a number.
I think I'm like 19 million.
Oh, you know what that reminds me of?
I agree,
Oh!
Ben. I agree. Thank
Wow.
you.
Wow.
Thank
Wow.
you for yes.
We know what we're talking
Because
about.
these people focus group
number?
all this stuff. And yes, in Threads, you are a number in a real creepy way, too. Right on your Instagram profile, they assign you a number.
the Instagram profile.
That's where they show you your number, right?
Oh, well, there it is.
Yeah.
What number are you?
2320363, and that's I guess what I am for the rest of my life.
Dang.
Might as well
Got a
get it
little too
tattooed.
deep.
I did put
on
my
me.
drink down hard on
You
purpose.
did.
Yeah,
On
with
you
that.
purpose.
did.
I'll do it too.
What is happening, Zuck? I was with you. I was ready. I had my angle. I had my threads angle. Carson had her threads angle. We were going into it with positivity and an angle. Carson's angle was funny. She was going to post all of
and you did so good with it too. I really enjoyed.
I'm going to
Carson's
continue that.
threads.
her
Threads.
thread was, posting random ads she got, weird targeted ads she would get. My thread was, I'm going to post a prompt. Like, for example, what's a cult that's not really a cult? We talked about it last week. Jeeps. Jeeps are cults. What's a word that you want to stick around forever?
Okay. So you're starting a conversation.
I'm starting a conversation. Now I'm wondering, does
don't
it even
like it.
matter?
Yeah,
Are
I
they
don't know.
leading me to something? Is it freaking sheep to a slaughter? I don't know.
It's really upsetting.
I feel like Twitter started the same way too, though.
Yeah.
Exactly
Yeah.
the
Oh,
same
boy.
way. So
Did.
it's only a matter of time. All social media.
but this is we can. What are you watching? What are you watching? And before we even find out what you guys are watching, do you watch the same things as a couple?
Yes and no.
Yeah.
We have our separate and we have our together.
And is there a negotiation to find out what is okay for either? Like you can't
Yeah.
watch a show that's a together
Yes.
show.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very
When
much
the
so.
other person isn't.
That's correct. And Carson loves to start shows but not finish them. So I have to break contract sometimes and say, hey, we're not watching this together anymore. I would really like to finish the show. Can I? And then sometimes I'll
I
get
have
agreement.
commitment issues with TV shows.
I am the same way.
I am a comfort watcher. I watch the same things over and over
Okay.
and over again.
All right. I use reality television for that purpose.
Okay.
Like I don't have to fully invest in it because it's kind of the same thing over and over, but I'm a comfort watcher of reality television. But I will admit there's something when there's so many choices and there's so many shows out there to having a hard time committing to a show.
overwhelming.
Because Ben was really into, maybe you were too, the show The Beef on Netflix.
Beef was so
that was a
good.
bit- thing.
Not The Beef, not because
The Beef.
that's a tease. That's a
The
tease.
Beef is
we will
something
get
on
to
a-
that.
okay.
We'll get to that. But Beef on Netflix, it was a decent show, but I watched like 3 episodes and I faded out. And I do that a lot.
Doesn't appeal to me.
Even with shows that are good though, I will fade out just because.
Yeah.
You know, unless I binge it all in 2 days, then it's really hard for me to finish a show because there's just too damn many of them.
That's true. That's true. So the answer to the question, the show we're watching together is Outlander. It's been around
Okay.
forever.
All right.
That's our show that we're watching together.
And Ben was very graphic about
Yeah.
why he likes it.
It's
talked
porn.
about it.
Oh
It
my
is porn.
God, Catriona Balfe.
Sam Hugan.
Relax.
Hugan, I think that's I don't know how his last name's pronounced, but if you're on that subject, let me get on the other subject.
And so you're both equally into the show and
This
enjoy the
soft
show. And
Very
it's the last season, yes? Or close?
The last season just came out.
Right.
But we just restarted
We're
it completely.
rewatching it from the beginning.
It honestly gets really bad towards the end, but it's so good. I'm watching The Golden Girls again for the 10th
I
time.
love that.
So much.
And it is really one of the best written shows in the history of television.
So funny.
And because when you go back and watch other comedy shows, not nearly as funny.
No.
The best example for me, and I like the show and I loved it back in the day, is Friends. You
Yeah.
go back and watch it, it's like, okay, this is okay.
Yep.
But it's not laugh out loud funny.
Right.
Golden Girls, guaranteed laugh out loud moment in every episode.
From the first episode.
Yeah.
And pilots are not normally that good.
No.
But gosh, it's so good. That is like #1 comfort show.
Did you see the thing that's been going around lately about how old the Golden Girls were?
What do you mean?
That their actual ages in the show were like early 50s.
Yes.
Which
Their characters'
Yes.
ages in
yes.
the show were early
and now
50s?
we are not retiring to Florida in our early
Yeah,
50s. Like
right?
that is crazy.
And we also don't look like we're 70 in the 50s. Like,
Right.
what?
It's a weird thing to think about that I think Blanche was the youngest quote unquote
Mm.
character at like 52 and I think everybody else was like mid 50s.
Yeah.
Except for Sophia who was like 80.
But
Yeah,
she
the
was
mom.
younger than all of them in reality.
In reality, yeah, I know. I always like that. But that was really smart casting though too.
Yeah.
Because there were other shows with old people and they would have to, figure
Right.
out
Right.
figure out how to deal with the father time.
Yeah.
The Bear is back on Hulu.
Have you watched it? Have you gotten into it?
Done. I finished.
What?
I finished it. Yeah, I
Oh,
already
we haven't
finished.
even started the
second
second season.
And
Darn
The
it.
Bear is one of these shows. And it's a restaurant-based show. Like it's a guy who was like an incredible chef, like a Michelin-starred chef. And his family in Chicago, they had like the Italian beef. They would make these sandwiches at like this real like casual neighborhood place. And through some events, he ends up back there working for the family place. That's the setup for the bear.
So freaking good.
And relatable for anyone who's worked in a restaurant.
And yes, and I just don't ever want to work in a restaurant. It is
No, you
so stressful. The amount of tension that this show is able to build through the restaurant. Again, it happened again. Did you hear that little
yeah,
weird little
you
burp?
heard
It was a
that?
weird little burp. I've
like
got,
a
I
little
think my
frog in your-
esophagus. I think I need to harness, you know, how some people can take a kielbasa and do things with it. I think I need to be able to figure out how to harness my weird noises out of the middle of my esophagus. I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. So The Bear, it's an excellent show. It's on Hulu. It's also very stressful to watch.
So stressful. And I you know what? Because they do such a good job relating the stress of working in a restaurant on the small screen. And Danny, who I believe, if never worked in radio, would be a good bartender.
I think so.
I think you'd be a good bartender
I've envisioned myself as part of that. Yeah.
in theory.
Yeah.
But now that you've seen the show and restaurants and bars go together, do you think you could do it? Do you think, because they do such a good, it's like pretty much spot on how they relate the stress of a busy restaurant. Could you do it?
I mean, I watch you come in from your restaurant job, and I don't know. It looks like it's not for me.
Don't do it.
I just feel like you would be screaming at
Maybe.
but like not at people, just in general screaming.
Just it would be too much. I am a very sensitive person, and I also take on people's energy, and that would be a lot of
For sure.
people, and maybe not the best energy because they're stressed. They're not getting the drink. Just a preview on this upcoming season of The Bear, because you guys are not there. There is a flashback episode that is Christmas in their household from a few years prior.
Okay.
So you get to see all of the family trauma and drama, and it is star-studded.
Oh, really?
Jamie Lee Curtis is the mother.
Wow.
Is the matriarch of the family. And Saul, Better Call Saul.
Oh,
that
Bob
guy.
Odenkirk.
God.
Bob Odenkirk
Yeah.
is a creepy uncle that you'll hate. John Mulaney is like a real festive cousin, or is like married to
Amazing.
like a sister. I don't know, like, but it's insane the amount of stars they jam into this episode, which I think is one of the most stressful hours of television. It is insane.
I love it,
what
though.
this show will they'll do to you, and you know, if you watched season 1, because this is only the second season, season 1, it's like the last couple of episodes really ramp up and get really intense. Oof. This one is like 4 episodes that are just like killing you.
I love the main actor too. I forgot his name.
I mean,
I'm
I know
terrible
him from
with names.
Shameless.
That's what I'm
He's
saying. Like, I
lit.
feel like his
He's
character
Jeremy
from Shameless.
something. You and I are usually able to put this together. Jeremy something. Jeremy.
Nah, I want to say Gallagher, but I know that's the
No, that's
character's
from
name in Shameless. Jeremy.
Jeremy's right though.
It is definitely a Jeremy,
like there's
but
an
the
L in
main
there.
actor, the star of it, and they're all great too.
Oh, yeah.
and I don't know that any of the other main cast are like known names.
No,
I didn't know them,
they're
but they're all, and you'll watch their characters. It's really amazing. This is really great.
What?
Well, before I'm hogging. I'm
No,
hogging. What
no,
else
no,
do you
no,
have? What do you
no,
have?
no,
What do you
no,
have?
no,
What do you have?
I don't know.
What do you have? You got something.
I feel like I went home recently. My dad's 80th birthday.
Yes, you did.
Was the 4th of July. And every time I go home, I see my dad and I'm like, oh my God, I'm turning into this old man. I'm turning.
The visual is stunning.
It's wild.
That we will post it at our Instagram
Yeah.
at Hello Danny Show. Ben side by side with his father. So it's 51 years younger person. But the similarities are stunning.
It's wild. And his brothers came down for his
His
80th.
brothers don't look as much like him as you do.
No, that's a good point. But I notice, like, now that I'm getting older, I'm like, where am I getting what I'm getting from? Well, how am I getting it there? And now that I've just like standing and watching him, I'm like, holy shit, Carson, you're in for something special. Because my dad is just like a work of art. The way he eats, the way he just like sits and stares, the way he does things, I'm like, I do this every day.
Okay.
This is not learned behavior.
And
but
why is it a work of art?
because it's just like nobody else is like doing this. I don't know. It's just I don't know how to describe it, but what I've learned and paid attention to recently is the fact that this man just starts drooling every once in a while. No. Yeah, I don't know where it's coming from, but I don't know if it's just paranoia or what. But I'm noticing myself just like every once in a while, I'll get a little dribble.
No.
I'll get a little dribble in my corner.
I
the
love
corner.
that. So what you're saying is you're really leaning into and embracing some things that are not necessarily a positive.
That's true. That's what's happening. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what do I have to do to avoid some of these things, but also embrace
Cheek
them?
exercises so
I
you don't
don't
start
know.
drooling? Because I think a lot of times is when you get like real lazy with your face. Because I'll do it too sometimes. I'm like, ugh. And you just all of a sudden let
Exactly.
drool come out. And
Exactly.
And then you correct that.
Yeah.
I have never seen you drool ever.
Well, maybe it's just paranoia. I
I
really
think you're
don't
just
know.
paranoid and a little bit of a hypochondriac.
And
too.
that could
Well,
be.
that's another thing to dig into maybe later.
The hypochondria
You're
of
a
the things. Yeah,
hypochondriac.
I don't know. I don't know.
But your dad sits and you say it's a work of art.
Yeah, I just watch him, and he's just sitting there, and he's like, and there's drool coming, and I'm like, God,
is a work of art.
you're a beautiful man. I could show you some pictures. My sister took pictures of him just standing there, and he's got the hair going crazy. He's got the drool
Yeah, because he
coming.
looks like Albert Einstein.
Yeah,
if
he
you don't
does.
make it to our Instagram, he does look like Albert Einstein.
And I have a side by side. He looks so much like Albert Einstein that his neighbors noticed it, and they bought a puzzle of Albert Einstein, and they gave it to him, and we put it together, and we took the picture, Albert Einstein and my dad next to each other.
Who's who?
Who's who? You can't tell. Who's who?
You can't tell. That's amazing.
Yeah.
This is one from the news, and I think it sounds like a weird question to ask. It sounds like it's an easy yes, but is it? Do you believe all people that you encounter are real?
What the hell does that mean?
There was a story, and everybody just clowned the woman because she was like trying to get on a flight and she wouldn't go to her seat because she insisted that one of the people back there was not a human, like was not a real person.
Like
And
a robot? Like
yeah,
AI?
I don't. I mean, I think she was going through it, and they had to delay the flight like 5 hours and take her off the flight. But she was insistent that this was not a real human being that she encountered in the back of that plane. Now, I think most people really quickly rush to be like, well, that's silly. Of
Yeah.
course. And I have a very close friend in my life that believes some people walking among us are demons.
What?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like
that they're not real.
they're not like like
They're
born
not
human. Okay.
humans because humans are inherently good. They are actually subhuman and they are demons that you encounter.
Oh. Oh.
And I believe sometimes you encounter angels. Sometimes you encounter people that
do, yeah.
and you see that a lot in movies, but I think that really happens where it's not a physical person. It's not a person in the physical plane. You are actually encountering an earth angel.
I think I might agree. Of course, I was raised like super religious, so we were always taught, there are demons among us, there are angels among us, kind of thing. So I'm kind of on the fence with that, but there are definitely like times where you like encounter somebody and it's like, I don't know how to
You've
describe it.
never actually seen the person vaporize as they walk
No,
away.
yeah, yeah.
You
They
know,
didn't,
like you never see.
change form and become like a gargoyle right in front of your eyes, but like you get like this sense.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
there's
I think
something
it happens
different.
sometimes. I do.
I wouldn't
I do.
disagree with it. Yeah.
I would believe more that there are like AIs among us. Like there's like how people believe that birds aren't real? You know that conspiracy?
I don't believe that.
I don't believe that either.
silly.
But I would more so believe that rather than people being demons, there are like people that just they go into a charging port, like a iRobot, like a vacuum cleaner.
I'm really
at
regretting
night.
I brought this
Hey,
up.
you brought it up, brother. Okay, I would believe that more.
Now I think you're just you're just making fun of my idea.
Yeah.
We are so excited about you and the future and where we're going. Like, where are we going with all of this? Just a little over 3 months, but this has been an intense 3 months for me. It's got to be for you too.
I love every second of everything we've done, and I'm so happy that I'm happy that we were fired from where we were.
Yeah.
And
Well, it
I'm
all works out. It
It
does.
all works out. I'm happy that we are in this together, and whatever comes next is very exciting for me.
Yeah, I certainly second that. And no BS to you listening. A lot of weeks because life can get very busy, especially for me. I've just been unemployed. I don't have another job. But Ben has a very taxing other job.
Yeah.
And so sometimes, like, we are really connecting cold when we do this podcast for you. Like, this is the first time we've had really any conversation in the week is when we sit down and we do this. So it's kind of special and interesting.
It's the truth. And maybe
I would also love you to pop in once in a while. So that's not always.
Oh, hey, man, I'm working. But I do appreciate this thing that we have. And yes, okay, I'll come over on the weekends. We'll go to Ruby Tuesday.
I'm your Tuesday lunch guy. I'm not even your Tuesday. I'm your Wednesday podcast guy.
Don't do that to me. I got to work a lot. But yes, I am so appreciative of this that we have, and it's going to continue forever.
Yeah.
And, I'm excited to see where it goes.
Yeah, we've got a lot of exciting ideas that we're going to unfold over the next couple of months. But thank you so much for being here with us. We had no idea what we were doing.
Nah.
Every podcast has a lane. It's got a thing. We just started doing something.
We just started spitting into a mic,
Yeah. And it has been an absolute blast. And you guys have been an amazing co-pilot on this little journey.
No doubt.
And do you know what?
We've got more to look forward to
Yeah, baby.
than the road now. We have eternity. I sure do love you.
We love you too.
Said it better than we did. I just knew that was going to do a great job with putting a bow on this. Until next time, eat, drink, be friends.
See you in season 2, bitches.
Bye.
That's it. That's
Hello.
it. That's it. That's the
Fuller
that's the
family
end.
fun.
That's the end for
It's
now.
the end of season 1.
You were here
of
for the
season.
well, you were here for the thing. Oh my God, yeah, Hope. Now the Bear.
Is it very short season?
10 episodes.
Oh, okay.
I think.
That's a regular.
Right? But it was one of these things where it was like my Hulu faked me out, because normally at the end of an episode it's like, oh, next episode coming and do. It didn't do that. I'd let it out. I should have controlled it.
You should have let it
I
just
should have
go-
I should have done the controlled esophagus thing I was doing. But yeah, it was the thing didn't pop up, and I was like, you mother effer, because it was a tremendous cliffhanger. Like, it was not okay. You can have a bit of a cliffhanger. It's like, oh, I'm excited about the next season of a show, but the way
Episode 10 ended?
the
Is that what
way
you're saying?
9, I think,
Oh,
or
okay.
8 ended, because it didn't pop up the little, hey, go to the next one. I guess Hulu wanted you to watch the credits, but I was like, that can't be it. That can't be it. And it wasn't it, luckily. But I was very upset, and I was nervous. But it's so good.
I can't wait to watch it. I'm excited for this.
So good. Chris, and we got to get her on. We got to get Megan on, the blonde girl.
The blonde girl.
Name
What
is
Blonde girl.
happened to the blonde girl? that
She's
I
good.
used?
She's doing really well. We were all laid off from that radio station, and they changed their mind and they decided to bring her back. So she's working there and she's doing well. See, again, you
I
laugh
didn't-
inappropriately.
Rude.
Why?
I thought
So
you
rude.
I just thought us.
Control. Okay, then you have to say what you were thinking of,
was
because
thinking-
that looked inappropriate.
I was thinking about what I was thinking about, like, what the guy with the arms. What happened? How does he?
Why are
You mean the
bringing
nub
back
arms.
the poor janitor with
I know.
nub arms?
I'm gonna keep that inside. I'm gonna keep that right here.
I love that, Carson. I love that he's going back to something that is an inappropriate laughter to cover up a second inappropriate, as opposed to making up a lie
I'm not that clever.
that
I'm
gently
not being
covers it up.
inappropriate. I'm just, making fun of a disabled man.
Okay,
Please.
I'm not doing that.
Oh God! But yeah, no, she's doing really well. This is one of the reasons why we, I think, kind of evolved into not drinking in the first half of the podcast.
Drink water or coffee in the first
in the first half, and then you're like having just your first drink in the second half.
Yeah.
Which for Ben, this is now his 8th drink.
You know
He
what?
started drinking at 3 p.m. and it's 7:33. So this is
I
this
can't
is-
disagree with that.
No, this is what happens.
I can't fight that logic right there. Yeah, that did happen.
Gotta thank Cheryl Wagner.
Oh yeah. love Cheryl.
Got in with a comment. She said, "You guys are doing amazing. Always look forward to it every week."
Thank you.
And she wanted to talk about reboots. We were talking about reboots on the prior podcast. She says she's not excited about Zoe 102.
Nobody is.
No.
And because no one likes Jamie Lynn these days.
Yeah, no.
She's turd.
bad news. She's a turd nugget.
Yeah. Futurama getting a reboot.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I'm excited about that one.
I heard that was. I never watched the OG.
I
Love
didn't
that show.
I heard it was really good. Then Cheryl also says, I was excited for the Hocus Pocus sequel. Thought it was cute, but now they're making another one.
What?
And no one
Ew.
asked for
We
it.
don't need
They're
a
making
third
a
one.
third?
Gross.
Barbie movie coming out.
Oh,
While we're on
excited.
hiatus. I think it's really
It's
good.
gonna be funny.
Did you see the trailer where she gets out of her heels and her
Little
feet stay the
feet.
same? They stay the same
I
because
love
Barbie's feet
it.
have
Yeah,
the thing.
yeah.
That looks really good. Another one that's coming out, which I just heard about the other day, and it sounds incredibly awful, disturbing, but it looks to be one of like the best movies of the year. Is Oppenheimer?
Yes.
It's what's his name? It's who the director? The
Peaky
Dark Knight.
Blinders. That guy.
He's
in it.
in it,
Cillian
yeah.
Murphy
Yeah.
is in
Cillian
it. This is
Murphy, yeah.
this is going to be the one to make him an A-list star, I think, based on the trailer that I watched.
Who was the damn director?
I don't know.
He did the
Christopher
Dark
Nolan?
Knight.
Christopher
Nolan.
Nolan?
Yes,
Oh,
Christopher Nolan. Yeah, he's a freaking master.
Why you point at me when I say I don't know?
Who is it?
Who is it? Where
What's
are
his
they?
name?
Where are they?
Yeah, can't wait for that.
Yeah, so
That's gonna be
I don't. That's going to be interesting because
I
you
don't
you
know
have
what
like
it's
the
about.
sunny. They come out the same day, next week.
Yeah.
Oh, the Barbie and the
They're calling it
Oppenheimer.
They're calling it Barbieheimer or something like that. Barbenheimer.
Oppen Barbie.
I would do both in the same day. I
I
absolutely
would. I'd start.
Double
Or would you
feature?
start? Which one would you start with?
Oppenheimer.
No,
Yeah.
Barbie first.
No,
No.
because Oppenheimer's gonna probably be sad.
Heavy. It's about
So
the
you want to
nuclear
end
bomb.
with happy.
Yeah, no, I ended with sad.
And the
No.
other thing that's hype with Oppenheimer that I thought was really fascinating is they made an explosion the same size as the nuclear bomb with TNT in real life.
Really?
Not just CGI.
Did they
yeah.
do that?
They-
And where did they do that?
we got like places in the desert, I think, where there's nothing going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so they just, but the amount of TNT and explosives that they had to
Wow.
put together to create that effect, which was an actual physical explosion, I think is.
So Oppenheimer's.
cool.
I don't know anything about this movie. I literally.
It's about the nuclear bomb
the
and figuring out how, Americans and dropping
Okay.
the nuclear bomb.
like the A bomb or the
Yeah.
H bomb.
I don't know. I
Which
don't know
bomb?
which is which. I think it's
H bomb
the
because it's
first one.
Hiroshima.
Yeah.
So is it the A bomb or the H bomb?
Hiroshima.
H.
So is it H?
It's H
Hiroshima.
stands for hydrogen. Hydrogen bomb.
I don't know.
A bomb stands for atomic bomb.
I don't.
Oh.
I don't know.
Oh, I don't
Hiroshima
know.
bomb.
Oh,
The
gosh,
Hiroshima
it's so
bomb.
bad. If you like history and you're listening to this, I'm so sorry.
I know we are an embarrassment.
Wrong. Everybody's wrong. Anyway, well, it's probably going to be a good movie because Christopher Nolan's awesome, and
It's
Italian
everything I
market.
hear about it is it's gonna really
I can't wait.
affect you. So that's why I think Barbie.
When's it come
is-
out?
Barbie
has
is
to
the
be the end.
chaser.
Yeah.
Barbie is the orange juice with your breakfast shot.
All right, you guys go to you guys go
We'll do
to
a double feature.
I
Let's
want to do
Oppenheimer
both. I
first.
want to
Yeah,
see
let's
both.
do it.
I do. So checking in with your comments. Let's see. Oh yeah, Hope wished there was more episodes on the Bear. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was, I mean, and all those shows, the ones where you get these short seasons and then you have to wait years for the next season.
The quality of the episodes are so good.
So good.
Yeah.
I know. And it's yeah. We're not going to make you wait years for season 2.
No, it'll be maybe. Well, I'm not gonna. I don't know.
I think 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
I think
that's
3
good.
weeks
That's
and we're
a good
back.
one.
I really
Yeah,
do.
yeah.
I really do. Well, we love you guys, and we hope you are following on all the platforms. I will also. I think it's hard for me to figure out which side, but there's one side I've got like a
on your
metal filling, and I got to get it
It's
out.
on the this side.
Yeah, right. Did you see it?
It's on the side towards.
Yeah,
the door.
right. That's got to go. That's unfortunate on the camera.
Going back and forth. Eh?
I know. I'm not mirrored.
Oh.
It's hard for me to figure out which way to do my mouth.
That's fine.
Ask your dad. 'Cause your dad knows how to like aim his mouth right? What? I don't know what I'm saying. I can't figure it out. I can't figure it out. All I know is I've got a metal filling that I see when I'm talking to you guys. It's got to go.
Okay.
It's got to be bonded, I think. Don't you?
Yeah.
Is it
Do you have
upsetting?
dental insurance right now?
No.
No.
I'm going to be going to the drugstore to get one of those. And you can buy the little thing at the drugstore.
Just
I've
do
had
like
that before.
Castaway. Get the ice skate. You know.
All right, guys. We will see you very, very soon. And it won't be long. It won't be long. See you. Bye.
Love, love, love.
Bye.
Love, love, love.